Hello, lovely learneds. Welcome back to A Life Learned and to a somewhat depressing vlog. Um, for those who aren't in London and are maybe not following the news, there has been a very, very disappointing verdict yesterday here in the London courts. Um, I I haven't been following it very closely. I haven't participated in any of the activism or the protests because I knew I couldn't handle it. I just knew that it was too much. As someone who has gone through that very courtroom for very similar reasons, um, I knew I wasn't there. I hadn't healed enough, and to know that the judge who made this decision was a woman, just like it's got some extra knives to it somehow. It's like you've got privilege and power. Her name was Justice Maria Carroccia. I might have pronounced that wrong, but it's just many women struggle to get to the position of privilege and power that she's in. She has the capacity to make change, and what is she doing but licking the boot on her neck and enjoying it? I'm mad. I'm mad, and I have very messy emotions. And I'm happy for people to argue details in the comments if they want, because as I said, I haven't been following it very closely. I just know that there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that EM experienced victimization. She was harmed. She did experience things that were against the law. Um, and because of just pedantic bullshit, the judge decided to deem her what's the word? Not credible enough. I can't remember, like, the incredible, invalid. I don't know. I'm just like flabbergasted, kind of. One of the details that they used is they're like, oh well, you didn't know your weight. You were wrong about the weight that you told us. Fucking really? How many people are gonna tell me that they actually accurately know their weight all times of the year? Fuck off. Seriously? And I'm sure they had other stuff, but then like very important details were left out of the case. Like somehow one of the five lawyers managed to argue that this information should not be included. Things like that she straight up fell and hurt herself outside of the bar because she was plastered. And like details about the men like actively admitting what they did in interview. How did that get excluded? Just there's so many problems with this case. And the fact that it's God, what are we 8 years after my case. There's been no improvements. It's gotten worse. Of course women aren't reporting. Of course men aren't reporting. Of course any victim experiencing sexual assault isn't reporting. Why would we? It still blows my mind that anybody in this case could actually think that EM would put herself through that kind of agony. Like, first things first, she reported this in 2018, and it took how many years? 7 years to actually get to a verdict. Do you have any idea how much torture that is? Like, I don't. I'm getting fission right now. Like, of course, most people don't understand. I do. I went through it. She wrecked herself at a very young age. To be called incredible. It's great that she has so much support locally. Like I'm really happy for her. I'll even admit I'm a bit envious because I felt so alone when I was going through it, and watching all the support she was getting left some weird feelings in me of feeling like reinciting that aloneness because I didn't have that same support. But that's not that people wouldn't have wanted to offer it. It was a different situation. People didn't know about what was going on, and it was one man, not five boys who are in a position of power because they're in the Canada Hockey Association, right? This was just one stupid old man, 33 years older than me, who decided to spend 6 years raping me every single day. Whereas EM went through, even though it was only one horrible night, it was 5 men. and she was terrified for her life. There were multiple occasions during my experience that I was very scared for my life, and he actively threatened to kill me. But I'm not trying to draw comparisons and say hers was worse or mine was worse. It's about the courts and the way that they treated her, which was horrific. I'm just like, as they say in the papers, I'm heartbroken. I'm shattered. I'm wrecked. It's reincited all of the mess of like, because of situations like EM and because of how incredibly unjust this conclusion was, they called my outcome a good outcome, even though he destroyed me and I'm still fucking wrecked and dealing with it. Actively, actually, in the middle of a suicidal episode. This video's not about that though, but like, it's definitely related to what he did to me. And I haven't had any real help from the system recovering. It's just been me figuring it out, me finding therapy, me finding good people who will give me discounts because I'm poor as shit and I can't work because he fucked me up. And to just know that because he got any sentence at all, that's considered a good outcome. When he actively took like 7 years of my life, dragged me through 4 years of court, in and out, on and off, never actually let me testify. And I know after what EM went through, people would think that that's good. I don't. I envy that she got to go on the stand, and I know that sounds fucked up, and I don't minimize her experience at all. But I do envy that she got to say what happened. I didn't. They blacked out whole parts of my impact statement, which was the only opportunity I had to say what happened. No one ever really got to hear the details. No one got to hear about the blood that was spilled, the pills that were shoved down my throat, the life that was wrecked. He absolutely destroyed my connections with my family. He absolutely wrecked my adolescence. No one got to hear any of that, really. So yeah, as weird as it is, I envy that she got to go on the stand, but I am heartbroken for her. That the justice had the audacity to say that she was invalid, that she was incredible, that she couldn't tell her story because last year there was a precedent-setting case where they now can't bring on stand professionals who understand the impact of trauma on the brain. So because they can't inform the judge on how to actually perceive testimony from a survivor, they get to just run with fucking biases and myths and bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, when you've been through that much trauma and now you're being re-traumatized through the court system, of course your memory is going to be fucking off. That doesn't mean that you didn't suffer. That doesn't somehow mean that, like, your pain wasn't real, that your fear wasn't real. Oh, I just get some nasty thoughts about, like, wanting the justice to find herself in a corner, pinned by people who are ready to hurt her, so that she can understand that she will respond in ways she did not expect. But that's disgusting and cruel, and I actually would never wish this kind of harm on any other human. I'm just so wrecked. I'm so heartbroken for EM. I'm so disappointed. There's my kitty. I'm so disappointed in this system. I'm so disappointed in Justice. What was her name again? I'm trying to open my phone to be smooth about it. Oh, it's gone. Justice Maria Carroccia? Yeah, don't quote me. Anyways. Bravo to ANOVA. Bravo to Locke. Those are two organizations that were going out and protesting and holding signs every time EM was in court and just offering her steadfast support. Incredible women, incredible activists. You guys are doing the right work. I'm very proud of what you're doing, and I'm happy to say that I've been associated. Nova helped me when they were the Women's Community House. They're where I ran to first get away from him, and they're doing the work. And when I wanted to speak up about what had happened to me, Locke let me be one of their faces for one of their campaigns one year, and I got to sort of have my feelings and my experience heard a little bit by speaking at their Shine the Light on Women Abuse campaign, and I'd since volunteered with them for a bit. They're incredible people. They do great work, and I'm just relieved and grateful that they're still going at it. But I'm just going to speak for EM on the fact that there's no way she isn't heartbroken. I'm heartbroken, and I wasn't the one who got to go on the stand, right? I just... Even getting a verdict of guilty, I still felt absolutely wrecked afterwards because he took years and years of my life, and he didn't get a sentence that was anywhere near as long as what he did to me. He meddled with the system so much and manipulated it that they reduced his system or his sentence, and I won't get into what he did because I don't want to feed that information into the public too much. I've already made videos about it, but yeah, if anybody wants to learn more about this, I'll link the trauma playlist in the description. I've explained everything that ever happened to me, and there's a full vlogumentary where I went through the courts and went through this. But anyway, I'm just saying thank you, EM, for your bravery. Thank you. I know you've heard this from a lot of other survivors and a lot of other supporters and advocates, but I just want you to know you're exceptional for having put yourself through that. I know that no one would go through that if it hadn't actually happened. I know exactly what it's like to pretend that you're enjoying yourself because you're terrified. I know what it's like to lose your memory because your brain shut it down as a way of coping. I know what it's like to try and tell your story and then realize that you got some of the details wrong because your brain shut them down. I know what it's like to have details come years later, months later, and be like, fuck, I wasn't lying though. That's what I remembered, but it was actually kind of like this. Fuck, because the memory's fucked when you're traumatized. I'm with you. I'm so sorry that you went through this, but good job. Good work. It didn't come out the way it should have, but you did amazing. And I hope that matters to you. If you ever want to reach out, I'm here, girl. My email. I would be more than happy to help you one-on-one. I couldn't do the activism and I couldn't do the group stuff because I needed to keep myself stable somehow through the hell that you were going through. And funny enough, I was still feeling it. I was just being a lot more private about it because of my own mess and my own stuff. But anyway, for any other survivors out there, if you haven't reported, I understand. If you did and you feel wrecked because of it, I understand. I guess the message is just, you're not alone. You weren't wrong. The system's fucked. Justice, many people say it's not blind, it's just got tunnel vision, but I think it's pretty blind, personally. I think that saying goes better than tunnel vision because, I mean, you're not just seeing what you want to see. You're inventing things. Blind. Anyway. Please feel free to comment below if you or anyone you know has been through similar experiences, either going through the courts and being invalidated, or straight up being an assault victim and being invalidated, or being validated but still feeling tortured by the process that you were forced to go through. The main message here is, I feel for you. This wasn't right. The fight isn't over. But it's important to acknowledge that this is where we're at in history. Women are still being chronically failed. And the main thing is that we're not going to stop fighting. Some of us are a bit more wrecked than others. But we're stubborn. We're going to keep pushing. As long as humanity exists, we shall fight, and we shall fucking tell you you're wrong and show you the evidence. We won't just be emotional about it, because that's a man's job. We'll show you why you're wrong. Anyways, thanks, guys. As always, please join me again next week or sometime soon, where I try again to share a little something I've learned or experienced in life.